This book here says that women who are mothers are likely to be uneducated and less smarter than the working woman. So tell your friend Jordan that.
That makes sense to me.
Cool. So research has revealed some demographic, social, and attitudinal differences between married women who work outside the home and those who do not. Those who do not are more likely to hold traditional attitudes regarding marital roles, mother employment outside the home, and sexuality. Married women who are not employed full-time have more children and live in households with less income. So you will have kids, so money will be taken to support the kids. And then if you're not educated, then and there's only one individual working in the household, you will have less income coming in. However, married women who are employed full-time are better educated children and more income than married women who are not employed. There's also been an increase in one-parent families, with 80% being women who take care of the child after divorce or certain life circumstances. And so that has happened due to high rates of separation and divorce, as well as an increased number of births to single women who have contributed to a large increase in this family type. So it's women who are getting, in the circumstances where they have a child and they're not married, and so they get pregnant while they're single or dating or some reason like that. So it's super crucial to make sure that you don't do that. Currently, about 41% of all U.S. births are to single women, compared to only 28% in 1990, which is pretty ridiculous because, I would never want to, So overall, about 30% of American children live in a single-parent family. Black children, however, are disproportionately represented in this family form. Some 56% of Black children, compared to 22% of white and 31% of Hispanic children under age of 18, live in a single-parent family. One of the major areas associated with this rise in single-parent families is economic, because many single-parent households do not have adequate income to support the child. So Single-parent families are more likely than two-parent families to live in poverty. For example, nearly 31% of single mothers and 16% of single-father families live in poverty, compared with about 7% of married couple families with children who live in poverty. However, there has been research that shows that single fathers are better off economically than single mothers, and white single parents fare better economically than African American single parents. I also think that can be environmental, given that it's Black people. If you're in a Black environment, that always depends. You're not going to have friends that support you. You're not going to have really great direction of where to go, how to be, especially if you did not learn that when you were younger. So definitely could see how that can contribute. So apparently, cohabitating is not good for a long-lasting relationship. Even though a lot of us may believe that that is a good idea, based on the book, it's not. It indicates that living together is not a good way to prepare for marriage or to avoid divorce. Instead, cohabitation increases both the risk of breaking up after marriage and the risk of domestic violence for women and physical and sexual abuse for children. A woman is 9 times more likely to be killed by a partner in a cohabitating relationship than by a husband. It's hard to know exactly why cohabitation is not better preparation for marriage. Researchers speculate the overall commitment is less in cohabiting relationships than a marriage, and that cohabitation offers less certainty of a lifetime partnership. Lower levels of commitment seem to change the day-to-day dynamics of the relationship. Certainly, cohabiting couples who encounter difficulties or who decide they just do not want to be together may find it easier to end the relationship when commitment is lacking. So, it's also a reason why um, non-marital childbearing has increased substantially in the U.S. Mm, so it's like they kind of go in one on one. The one-parent families in cohabitation. This is when um, you cohabitate versus marry, and then you have a child. You haven't, and you're not married. Then that breaks up because there's like a low commitment. That's kind of crazy. It's not really. Says here also that if in the cohabitating relationship there's a child of a single parent, obviously not single at that point in time, but hopefully that the cohabitation works well, and doesn't affect the child. If ever the person was supposed to break up or anything like that, that can really affect the child um, in a negative manner. Um, this is pretty interesting, I guess. Generally, the studies that have been conducted on children who grew up in gay and lesbian families show that the children develop in a positive manner psychologically, intellectually, behaviorally, and emotionally. They have no greater incidence of homosexuality or substance abuse than do children who grow up in a heterosexual family and show no significantly greater attention in school. Interesting.